Oh, hi everybody. It's 4:41 on the clock. So the reflection of 144, which I'm just going to talk about. So very cool. Welcome to today. Today is April 11th, 2022. And again, there's that energy of the ones and the fours coming up here. So we have the 11 here of justice, which is truth and balance. And the day adds up to 21. Yep, 21. Blackjack came up yesterday. It was just coming up again. So the 11 of justice, the 21 of the world and completion. So it's a very strong, positive energy today, actually. And I got some amazing downloads about the numbers 1 through 10, but also the 1D through 9D type of energies here. And if you watched my video, and you can go back and watch it, it's a short one from March 28th. And it has the tag has the numbers on it of 1 through 9, but they're separated into 1, 2 through 5, and then 6 through 9, which is the 1, 4, 4. 1 is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 4, and then 6, 7, 8, 9 is 4 digits. And so that's going to come back up today, which is why I wanted to bring it up. But you can check that one out if you want to. So yeah, I actually had what sparked me this morning was watching Matheus Di Stefano. I watched a couple of his most recent videos. I don't usually watch him, but I really love his energy. Of course, he's got amazing energy, and he's the one from On Gaia that you always see doing advertisements. But he was just talking about the different dimensions, and a lot of what he talks about in the dimensions was resonating with what I share with you guys from my own knowing. And it kind of developed my own knowing a little bit, so I wanted to go through that because it was very significant what was coming through. And so in going 1D through 9D, but also just numerologically through numerology, which I've been studying since I was in my 20s, the numbers 1 through 9 are very basic, right? When you start with numerology of the 1 of the masculine, the 2 of the feminine, the 3 of the coming together, the 4 of the stability, like home, and then the 5 of excitement and freedom and sharing and change, and then the 6 of love, family, community, the 7 of the going within, like the priesthood, the quiet before the storm, the 8 of the storm, and then the 9 of completion and endings and wholeness and all of that. So, and that's just really basic numerology. So what came up today was more significant, and as I was reviewing some of what he was talking about, it was really pulling some more pieces together for me. And in that video I just told you about from March 28th, I showed you about the pod, where you have to bring the 6 and the 9 together, which naturally come together and make the 8 in the middle, which is the pod, which is the portal, right? It's the wormhole of the two-eyed needle going both ways, the push and pull of the twin flame quantum energy. And so this was really falling into that energy regarding how that theory of how the numbers come together with the number 8 and the 7 being key. That's the key to the lock of the pod. So the energy of the 1 circle, right, starting out with the number 1 in the masculine, and then the 2 circles of 2, for me the circle is human embodiment of source, so it's like a human being. So you have the 1 human being of the masculine, the 2 circles, which is the feminine, the 2, and then the 3, of course, with the 1 circle on top and the 2 underneath, like growing a pyramid. But then they also fall down together as the 2 side by side, and then the 1 that comes down in the middle joining those 2, which is literally the 1 and the all of the infinity and the 1. Okay? So that's how we begin. And the 1, of course, is about the masculine being, from his vision, seeing, right? It's a very channeled vision, like a horse with blinders on. They're very focused on their perspective. Whereas the feminine is a very good mediator. They're able to see both sides of the perspective. They're more connected with two humans, or connected with the community, or connected with the world. And again, that 1 for all and all for one type of energy. And then when I wrote down here 1 for all and all for one, I was getting the 1-4, because 4 is all about moving from the 3 into the dream state, right? No longer wanting to stay in this 3D world and knowing that there has to be something more. So then you go into your dream state where you don't experience space and time, which is a lot of what Matthias was talking about. And then I was getting, I have a dream, like the speech of 1 and 4. I of the 1 and the 4 of having a dream, of connecting as two I ams. Connecting with two I ams has a dream about me as well as I am. So it's that one for all for one coming up regarding what I just said. So again, the pod, my pod, and the one and all of the one circle, or the two circles, which is the infinity symbol, which is all, and the path of the 6 and the 9 coming together. But when you put the 6 and the 9 coming together, they're literally chasing each other, like the snake with its tail in its own mouth. Only this is two chasing each other, like the twins, and never meeting in the middle. So the 6 here is the man first seeing himself as the creator of God, okay? And then the 9, of course, is the completion as we see that energy of all-knowingness, of full compassion, of that God energy, reflecting the parts and the whole, the community of or family and the world as well, not just the individual, but also reflecting love and compassion in that push and pull quantum energy of the two-eyed needle, the pod of creation. So if you chase, you will never get there. But if you become, you always are there, never nearing the end or the beginning, just the monkey or the monk key in the middle, experiencing, feeling, knowing, with that constant and the potential of creating, doing, learning, and becoming, being conscious, aware of what I am, of doing and learning and creating and experiencing, knowing, and loving, like the energy of the 10 equaling the 1 plus the 9, the beginning and the end, which the 10 is both the 1 and the 9 together, because it's actually an even number, right? Number 10, but it's actually a 1, so it's actually an odd number, so it's both at the same time. It's the transition from the end into the beginning, okay? So it's all in one, the 9 and the 1, the beginning and the end. And so I looked up a word to see if they had a word spelled B-E-G for beginning and E-N-D for end. And the only word that came up was begend mek. So it was that word plus M-E-K at the end. So when I'm looking up a word and they don't have such a word, but they have a word with some extra letters on it that I can subtract from that word, then I'll take the definition. So begend mek is Turkish, and it means to like, appreciate, to choose, prefer, or approve, or literally to feel joy. But it's without the M-E-K on the end, because I'm looking for begend, and this is begend mek. So begend mek minus the mek, so mek means to bleat, stammer, to wet, water, river, or make, or beaver. It also means soft. So what begend ends up meaning here is to feel joy without the sound of the goat or the dam of the beaver, without the water of being human, without wetting or emoting, without the grief of climbing that mountain, and yet without building a dam to stop the flow, the 1 and the 9 without obstacle, and going with all the flow. So very cool energy of that word. So begend, that's what begend, our new word, means, B-E-G-E-N-D. So we have the 1. So we have the 1 of the circle, the 2 of the 2 circles next to each other, which actually becomes the infinity. So the feminine is naturally that infinity energy of playing opposing sides, right? They're the natural mediator. They see both sides of the situation and are able to bring them back to the middle. Then we have the 1 is the I am or I see. The 2 is I reflect or you are. The 3 of coming together is all of a sudden seeing that we're all different from each other, and perhaps the third person doesn't agree with the other two. So this is where we first have the issue of separation in the 3D here of the 1 plus the 2, but the 2 is also the 8. So the feminine understands the masculine and feminine dynamic, but the masculine is more focused within himself, and there's a purpose for that. So, and remember, the feminine has to give birth also to masculine and feminine. So we have the inward focus of the masculine with tunnel vision, and the energy of the feminine, which also equals the 8 of the dance and the duality. She naturally understands the duality. And then the 3 of coming together in this. And then for me, what 3 were coming up were the 3 abstracts of love, time, and death, and how they all coincide with what Matthias was talking about regarding time and space, right? Because time is past, present, future, and space is height, width, and depth when you're talking about dimensions in the 3D. So here I was getting the love, time, and death of the abstracts, the 3 abstracts, but they were all equating with the same thing. So literally, time is the past of pain and the width, and there's confirmation there. And then death is the future, right? Because you only die in the future. Death is the lack, the space, the future. And then love, of course, is the present moment, being in that present moment. And that's the depth of going within. So then the 4 comes in, which is about the 4D bridge, right? It's about going into a place where there is no, right? 4D is that time and space that we are letting go of after the 4D, right? So we dream to know what it's like to be without time and space so we can know more than we actually are. And 4 is also about that love energy of being, selfless, which we know isn't correct, right? Because that's out of balance. We have to be both selfless and selfish. Or that's both the same. We have to be selfless and selfish. So there's that, again, that 1 and 9 of the masculine selfish and the 9 of selfless of the whole. So we want to learn to do that by first being completely love, right? That kind of fairy energy of being all loving and sacrificing of oneself. So we see that a lot in the 4D and the bridging over to the 5D. So when you want to see what that looks like, what I was getting here is the 0 of the masculine, the 2 of the feminine. Sorry, it's a little out of focus there. And then as we get to the 3 drops down across like this to have the 1 circle in the middle, and then the 4 reaches up to the dream state here, okay? And then the 5 is actually where the 2, the vertical and the horizontal toroidal fields come together. That becomes the 5. And 5 for me is that jumping off point, where then you can go to any other dimension. So once you lose the past, pain, and the future, lack, and again, of the 3 abstracts, losing time and death, but just remaining in the present of love, we then can get to the 6, which isn't just the lovers, it's the day-to-day life, it's the daily stuff of the 6th house and Virgo energy. It's also love, family, and community. It is also here, though, going from the 4D of love and the 5D of wisdom, because in the 5D is where 4D is the dream state, where you access Akashic records, in order to help you get to the 5 of now being able to choose which way you want to go. So 5 is like the train station. So now you have all these choices of which way you want to go, or literally the 4 corners of the world with the dot in the middle. That's the 5. So we are aware here of the wisdom. We have knowledge after having experienced the love in the 4 and gaining access to Akashic records. And then we have 6, which you want to become the human creator. You want to be like God, because now you have that understanding that we all are parts of God as the collective, and that you are the creator. That 6 is in practicing doing that, literally instant manifestation here. The 6 is the flower of abundance. Going into the 7, which is the key, but also remembering when you lose the past and pain and the future lack, and you become present to the gifts of the moment, reflecting your potential that I am all things. So literally, the way this works out is that self-love, or that number 1, and compassion, which is the number 9, are actually equal, because in the end they come together again. So to love self first is actually to be that 9 of compassion and love all first. So that's where they come together. It's very cool the way this worked out. So the number 7, of course, for me is the key. It's also the silence. It's the quiet within. It's the quiet before the storm. But it's literally the freedom where you've learned to go within yourself and be you, completely authentically you. It's the freedom to shine. That's the 7. So it's also the knowing of the key of seeing that the flower, or seeing the flower for what it is, seeing its core in the middle of the flower, that the sum of its parts, and that was another confirmation, the sum of its parts are greater than the parts alone, exponentially, and the potential here, the quantum leap that we took to get to the 6, and this is where the 144 comes in, because there's sections of numbers of experience. So we have the 1 of I am, and then we have this whole section of life, 2 to 5, which we've been living up till this point. But now we're skipping up to the next section of a higher timeline of 6, 7, 8, 9. But they work at the same time, because as time speeds up and we get to this higher vibration, when we get to 6, 7, 8, 9, they all happen simultaneously. So there is no real order of the 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's why the 6 comes together with the 9 to create the 8 pod, with the key being present within there too. They all come in one package all at the same time. So again, the sum of its parts are greater than each one alone, right? It's exponential, and it holds potential of everything. For the 6 to get to that 9, there must be a leap of faith and patience, that quantum leap. The perfect complements of 6 and 9, which when together become 8, which was the same thing for the first group of 2 through 5, only in a lower vibration. The 2 and the 5 also come together to create that pod in a squared dimension. But the 6 to 9 come together in a more rounded formation to create the pod. But you must have a leap of faith and patience to get to this higher realm of the 6 to 9 pod, the perfect complements of the 6 and 9, which equal the 8 in the middle, the infinite of no space and no time, where faith is coming up as no space, and patience here is coming up as no time. To see the center of the flower is to see all. It is the 8 upright, and also the 8 on its side, the infinity, and the dot in the middle, which is of course regarding the toroidal field. The divine feminine with the masculine at the center of her world, the 9, the flower of the 6, able to see its reflection, number 9, in the water. When you look in the water, you see your reflection. So here is coming up as the 6 and the 9, the 6, of course, being the flower of the feminine, and the 9 being the masculine, who's supposed to be all that is, right, the Father and the Son. But when you see each other in the water, reflecting and merging in that surface of the water, which is literally the same thing as the portal, which looks like a wall of water, the portal of reflection is the center of that push and pull, of the explosion and implosion, of the everything and the nothing at all. So the 8 is the potential. It's infinity. And the 9 is the being, as opposed to the I am. It's being all. It's allowing all. It's the center of the push and pull here, when the 6 and the 9 see each other as equal, not as the 6 being lower than the 9, because if you are in this higher vibration, you realize all you have to do is flip the 6 over or the 9 over and they become the other. When the 6 and the 9 see each other as equals, that it's all in perspective, and Spirit is really connecting with me right now. When the daily, family, or community level can see the world in the same way that they are, so it goes both ways. Not only can the 9 see themselves as bigger or better than the 6, but the 6 can see themselves as more of a tight family than the world would be. But this is where they both learn to see the other perspective. So when the daily duties, the family, and the community can see the world in the same way as they see their own, then that becomes that 8 pod of the 6 and 9 coming together, that they hold each other loosely but don't let go. The infinity of creation in the pod we call payable on death. So here is that 6 and 9 coming together, which of course is this shape here of the 6 and 9 coming together to create the infinity symbol. Okay, and they literally hold each other on loosely while the 8 forms in the middle. So then this takes me to my pin, my safety pin picture that I always show you demonstrates how the masculine and feminine work, and it parallels with this same information. So the 6 and the 9 coming together is that 2 as one snake. But instead of one snake eating its own tail, we have the 2 twins chasing each other, or they look like they are anyway, right? Connecting just like the snake would have its tail in its own mouth, the 9 and the 1 coming together again. So 2 sealed with a kiss and 2 hugs, which is the X, and the 2 zeros, which is what an 8 is. It's an X in the middle with 2 zeros, which I'm going to show you that in a minute. But again, brings up my safety pin example. So remember, in a safety pin, the masculine is the housing on top, and he's the back of the pin, the strong part. The 2 loops at the bottom, each one is a masculine and a feminine, and the pointy part that comes out is the feminine. When the pin is closed, it's a vacuum seal, and when it's opened, she points at the sun to collect energy, like going to the gas station. So the divine masculine with housing moves towards the feminine in the 2 circles at the bottom. So here's the example of the energy I'm talking about. So here's the masculine housing, and with his housing and him, he moves towards the feminine circle down here along with his own. And here's the feminine part. She's either inside here or out collecting sun, but she is the masculine part of herself when she's out. She's the feminine part of herself when she's in. You see that? And you notice the pin also looks like a penis and balls, but that's besides the point. But it's part of the point as well. So the divine masculine with housing moving towards the feminine, the 2 rings at the bottom, which is her masculine part and her feminine part, since she's both. The divine feminine out, when the pin is out, is moving away from the masculine to go hunt or gather, just like the female lion, to gather the sun or to hunt for the kids down. The divine feminine plays 2 positions here. She's either out hunting the self or daughter, or open and closed, right? So when she's open, she's collecting the sun, which can be the sunlight, or literally her son. She's going out to find them, the mother calling the son home. And when the pin's closed, it's closed to vacuum and clean up after them. But also sealed with a kiss here. As she plays the divine feminine within, the hunter-gatherer divine masculine she plays without, where he plays the divine masculine within, and he plays as the protector or the housing without. So the energy of the safety pin, again, was coming up as, because the masculine is dominantly masculine, but the feminine is both. She understands both sides. When you're 2 sides of the same coin, there are things that you share that you're not great at, but that's what you bond on because you're the same as. But the things that you're opposite on, because one's really good at that and the other one's really bad at that, that's where you complement each other to come together. So when you're out and about, it was coming up here, that you show your shared aspects. But when you're living at home within is when your complements come in. You really go into that masculine and feminine roles, right? Because that's when you have a physical relationship with each other. It was very interesting the way it comes up. But also the example of, if you look at the pin this way, you don't even see the 6 and the 9, right? Because they're backwards. They look like notes and other things. But if you look at the pin this way, you see the number 9 here of the masculine, the 6 here of the feminine. But if you just flip that over, it's the opposite. And the feminine is the 9 and the masculine is the 6. So it really doesn't matter which number is which. And you can't be in that high vibration of 6, 7, 8, 9 unless you already understand that energy. So it was very significant here. So then I literally drew the X and the 2 hugs, because that's also the toroidal field. And this is very significant, the way this looks, because I want to show you all the things it becomes. So here is the X of the kiss and the 2 hugs. So you notice this becomes the toroidal field, right? But it also looks like two cones coming at you, right? It looks like a dimensional thing, where this is just farther back, and these 2 cones are coming forward from, it literally is this, okay, from a different perspective. So the kiss and the 2 hugs of the circles become the infinity of the 8, but there's lines here because of the circle, which then creates the 2 A's. Remember what I said, the all for one and one for all. The upside down capital A means all for No, it means for all. I always get confused which one's which, but it doesn't really matter. So the upside down capital A means for all. And then the capital A, which I always talk about being the rocket taking off, or the TP, is the, instead of for all, like the one for all, it's the all for one, all four. That's the capital A upside down or right side up. So this X and the two zeros isn't just the infinity or the X, the kiss and two hugs. It's also the two capital A's of all for one and one for all. And it also is two cones, like I showed you, two cones spiraling, or the chakra system. That's literally what the chakras look like. When I first awakened, when someone had activated me, actually, everything cleared from my mind except for that violet cone, which I just saw literally sweeping around my head. But it wasn't fast, so it was kind of, limp going around, as opposed to a straight up, thunderstorm cone where it's picking up everything in sight. If it's really fast, it spins straight up and down. But when it's not spinning as fast, it tends to bend and slope and kind of, I don't know what I'm trying to think, the word I'm trying to use. Anyway, you get what I'm talking about. And remember that the X isn't just a kiss. It's also the 11 coming together. It's the two humans coming together to connect in the eighth dance. Each one goes an eighth towards each other instead of one changing a quarter. They each just come toward each other an eighth, like sharing the distance here, and then doing the dance of the X, of leaning into each other. Two as one in an hourglass of time-space continuum, which is a 3D perspective going into the 4D, shifting to the 5D. The two here is, again, the 2 of the feminine and the 8 of the infinity, but also when you add the cones here, of what I just showed you up here, it's the 2 cones here, but coming together side by side is the feminine. The divine feminine with 2 perspectives, which is also talking about cell division, right? There's more than one me. And I was also getting the I am of the masculine one is the I am, and him saying me, 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 and there's 5 me's when you do that. And so when they come together, there's 10 me's or 5 memes, which was really funny the way that was coming up. And then we go into the 3D of duality. And again, the 3 circles, and then the 3 circles coming together. Here's the 3 circles like a pyramid, and then coming together here. And then here, like the Irish knot, which becomes this, which is also this, okay? Because when you bring them together here, you see how the focus is of the toroidal field, that center hourglass here, is the same thing here with the energy coming out either end, which again is the 8, okay? So in other words, the X with the 2 whispering benches equals the 8. So X dance equals the whispering bench, because this is actually 3 whispering benches, and this is 2 whispering benches. So the 8 coming together, the X is literally coming up as 1 whispering bench to add to the other 2 whispering benches, which equals that Irish knot. So the X equals a whispering bench. It's very interesting the way that came up. But then the 4 of the bridge, the leap, the arc, the completion point, which also is referencing the 4 corners of the world, also dreams and accessing Akashic records. The dream time, leaving space-time continuum for something more, going into the 5 of the 2 toroidal fields coming together, or the 4-petaled flower here, which also can be seen as this, the inside petals here as the 2 sine waves going both ways. They go both directions. That is the 5 of realizing your potential, that you can be infinite. You're looking, so when you're in 4, in 3D, going to 4, you're literally still looking to be completed somehow. By the time you get to the 5, you no longer need to look for completion anymore, because you realize there is no beginning and end. It's just about the present moment. That you're always looking for that structure of God or home, but then you realize that you are God, you are home, and you're always in the present moment. So you can see that 5D as the train station, where you can then have the 4 corners of the world you can decide to go to. Once you lose the past and allow the future, that is lack, and realize your potential, and you accept that 3 plus 4 equals 7, or the 3D and the 4D equals 7, which is the key, where 2 and 5 is also the 7 of the key, that we and the structure, build, home, and blocks of the 4 are accepting of the masculine and feminine, shape the abundance and the structure, not chaos and control, which are extremes, but abundance and structure. Accept that survival, that mode that we've been in 3D, is limiting since there is no death or birth, only transitions to the next now moment, the key or the gift of the present moment. The wisdom is the 5D. It is the landing, the station where all tracks shift, where they come and go, leaving polarity and separation to allow and integrate all differences that are part of the all one. The 10, which is equal to 9 plus 1, or 1 plus 9. The one seeing its other parts, and to see the larger perspective, and the potential, and the all breaking down to appreciate close up each of its own parts, the specialties, and how they function as complements. The way station of dimensions, of weights and measures. And I was getting here like weighting instead of the physical poundage of weight. The dimensions of weights and measures, and the 5 diamond connection here of the 5D, where remember dimension is dimens or diamonds, ion, which is a connection, the diamonds connection, the 5 diamond connection, where we have the dimension of, which is also 2 measures, and that's something Matthias was talking about. But for me, that's about perspective, right? 2 measures is about 2 different perspectives, which is also bringing up the diamond, which is 2 almonds, 2 eyes. There's different perspectives from each eye. 2 chakras, 2 cones, 2 hugs, 2 fishes, right? Of the Pisces, the Vesica Pisces coming together, the 2 fish, the whispering benches, the 2 propellers. So there's all these 2s of a way that you can see a different perspective. The dimension, which equals 2 measures, or 2 mentions, which is a reference, an uttering of a word, or calling something to mind. 2 references to the diamond connection, or 2 almonds, eyes, chakras, cones, hugs, fish, whispering benches, propellers, or the infinity symbol of 2 almonds, cross-eyed, all blurred together from 2 different perspectives. Or in other words, the infinity is the 2 eyes coming together, blurred, to reconcile their differences. Okay, so the 144 again is the 1 of the 1, and then the 2, 3, 4, 5 is 1, 4, and then 6, 7, 8, 9 is the second 4. One is of a lower dimensional vibration, and the other one's a higher vibrational dimension. Once you 4 leap year, or you go through the 4 year and leap, and the 5 of weights and measure choices at the train station. So here is the numbers, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And once, you know, these 2 are the pods, 2 and 5 and 6 and 9. They come together to make the 8, which is the portal. And you notice this one has the 34 in it. This one has the 78 of heaven. The 34 is the energetic exchange between the twins. But this is literally heaven on earth. So literally bringing in heaven on earth. So the 144 is the 9 numbers there. Or then the outer numbers of 25 is a lower vibration because that's the Knight of Wands, and they offer passion. Whereas the 69 is the Ace of Pentacles, which is someone offering a whole new life. The 144 and the 2 sections go from 5 to 6, which is the quickening. It's the 5 to the 6 of the freedom to the family type of energy of love. But it's also the 56 of the 2 of Swords, being in your knowing and keeping your energy clear. So once you do the 4 leap year and the 5 weights and measure choices, you go at 144 to the 6. And now it's a whole new cycle here. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9. The 6 is the flowering of the petals and the nadis, the energetic lines, the arcs. The opening of the spirals joining together. The 144, which equals the 9 via 144 becoming 1/8, which is literally the purple moon or the 0 point field, where the 44 is the 3D version of the 8 of infinity in the 5D. And again, the 0 point field. 1 to infinity and abundance here and beyond. Once you're past the 6 of abundance and the flowering and reflect the 9, you spontaneously create the infinity of the pod in the middle, as the 2 to 5 as well can be considered bypassing, right? Because you're not at the right vibration yet to go to the next level. So the 7 is the key of passive acceptance of the 3 and 4D, right? Because in order to accelerate and go to a higher vibration, you have to accept all that is, not just the love and fun stuff, but the shadow part of ourselves as well, which is how you bring them to the middle and express less of that. So the 7 is the key of acceptance of all that is, as we go from 3 to 4D to get to that 5D energy and above. So it's not just getting to 5D, we're going to a high vibration where then we can jump off from the 5D to any dimension we want to go to, including going back to the 3rd dimension. So it's a quiet before the storm, this 7 is, which is freedom. The 7 transcends the knowledge and wealth of the previous 2 cycles of 5 and 6D to feel self alone without the need for manifesting things or wealth. There's no need to attach or resist here. The 7 is also when we no longer can see ourselves from the 3rd dimension. So you're physical until the 6D, and then the 7th you're no longer. So, and that's in a physical sense, right? So we're only in the 4th dimension, the 4th density here right now. So density and dimensions can be seen a little bit differently. So we're going to be in the 4th density for a long, long time, but we're also flipping through all different dimensions. So we can express 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9D dimensions within this 4th density reality. So the 6, 7, 8, 9 here is complete self-acceptance of one reflecting back upon one's self, accepting both sides of the coin, all that you are, the key and the lock that go together along with the 9. There's that 6, 7, 8, 9 with the key. For once you hit 5 and beyond, all is seen simultaneously. As the spirals come together, weaving seamlessly like the Kundalini rising, setting you free, releasing all chaos and control, creating the lock or the portal and the key to the other side instantaneously. Since you melded with your other half, only a wall of watery emotions between you, the womb that lubricates or cushions the ride to the other side, making it a slide as opposed to a breaking through to the other side. For it is the breaking apart and the coming back together that is the key to open the lock to compassionate, all-encompassing love, as the 9 is all and all is one, which is the 91 and the 19 of the sun and the central sun. The sun with the father and the path beyond, the mother with daughter in her core, her womb, the masculine 1, the feminine 2, and then the 3 balls, the 2 parts, feminine to 1 masculine, the 3, 2, 1, jump. The leap onto 4, where 2 go to the train station, 5 to travel to 6, 7, 8, 9, its own boxcar. The 69 pod 8 with the key to infinity and beyond. The 6, 7, 8, 9 is the 67 of the Knight of Pentacles, the 78 of the 10 of Pentacles, dream family, heaven on earth. And the 89 is the reflection of the 98-degree temperature of the human condition. The 89 is the reflection of the human 98 condition. So the loyal, humble servant of heaven on earth reflects their human embodiment of that 98 degrees. They reflect themselves from the other side. The 6 to 9 podlock instead of padlock. It's the podlock here of the 8 pod of 6 to 9, 8, and the 7 as the key. The 6 to 9 podlock with 7 between 6 and 8. And if you literally draw 6 in block style on top of the 8 in block style, what's left over is the 7, the key. The key of the 7 is the difference between the pod of the 8 and the 6. It equals the 7 at the right angle, but from the above or higher vibrational perspective that gets you to that 9 and back to the 6, and then thus creating that 8 pod. But this is all happening simultaneously. There's no linearity to it. So that's why it's confusing about why the numbers are ordered 6, 7, 8, 9, because they all happen simultaneously. Very cool. Or the twin flame, push and pull, the quantum energy of the portal here, and the leap between dimensions and or perspectives. It's all the same thing. All right, so I have the Pocket Tarot message of the day here from today, as well as a short Divine Masculine read for today. And I have a couple other pocket reads along with the Twin Flame read on the table here. And let's go ahead and roll the die here now too, so we have that. For the Twin Flames on April 11th, 2022. Okay, so we have Leo. We have the Sun, so there's Leo again, and there's my example of the human embodiment with the dot in the middle, which is, right, where all roads lead home. We have the 1 of the masculine. So how cool is that? Look, because this is literally, this is the all encompassing. Here's the masculine, and this is the 9 of the all, right? Because the dot in the middle is the 1, basically, and that's all encompassing. So it's literally going over what I just said, plus the Leo, which is all about ego. So we got 2 Leos and the 1, which is the Magician, which is Gemini, which is the twins. But 1 is also January, which is going from Capricorn to Aquarius. And Aquarius is the axis with Leo, which is why that's coming up there. Very interesting. So it's all about the ego and the twin flames here. And again, how I just explained the transition of shifting through the dimensions and the 144 of the numbers. And so this Pocket Tarot read, I'm going to give you the last one I did first because this is from today. So this is the message for today. This is the Pocket Tarot from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit decks. But it's a tarot as opposed to an oracle deck. And then here's a Divine Masculine read I'm going to do for you as well. And this is the Gilded Tarot. Okay. So I'm going to do those first from today. So this Pocket Tarot read, which is a message of the day, was at 2:28 to 29 this afternoon. And the underlying energy was it was really me trying to get to a 0-point field, to really clear the slate, to see what comes up in that pure energy. As the underlying energy was the 6 of Cups at peace, as the Divine Masculine's heart wants to start over in love, and the Empress is upright, dumping multiple loads and emotional attachments in disconnect or from a distance or at a distance. And then was the 5 of Cups upright with the Sun and the Chariot reversed. And in this deck, it was very much coming up as 2 horses that belong to each other, but they're both with no name. So the 2 horses with no name, as I'm losing my voice in the Sun, exposed in coming together as the 3 of Cups with issues at work or after sudden exchange, epiphany, or sexual exchange, or third party through work coming together after sudden fireworks, cracking the crown or the tip, or a spot of blood perhaps. The Son of Wands and the Daughter of Pentacles in energetic exchange, communication, travel back and forth, or the arrows of love here. The release from prison, the anxiety of the King of Pentacles reversed, or the father's impatience, frustration, or loss of temper, or just being seen as the fallen angel, healing their broken heart, disappointment, or separation. And the Page of Wands reversed with the King of Wands upright, where the Page of Wands is the garden snake in the shape of the 8, and the King of Wands upright is the cobra crowning at the top of the head from the energetic exchange, lightning strike, dumping a load, purging, overwhelm, and walking away in a bad time to be weak, or a bad time to get sick, or bad timing to show their weakness or bad health. Post-war, waiting on an announcement, a wake-up call, or a call from the Mother of Swords or the Queen of Swords. Regarding the 10 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles, both upright here, which is, that's everybody's wish, to have that perfect happiness and that perfect abundance. Being complete, both emotionally and practically. The crisscrossing of energy lines and the spiraling of consciousness here, of coming together in the 144 of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, which equals the 144, which is the 1, 8 of the purple moon or 0-point field. So there's taking a risk with the 7 of Swords to be at peace with the 6 of Swords, and then an ace up your sleeve for later, to transform, bring good news, and get back on the horse. Succeed by showing yourself, leading just as you are. Okay. So then I just did a quick masculine read this afternoon as well after that. So I'm going to give you that too now. And as I was shuffling the cards that were coming out, first the Emperor reversed with the World reversed and the Devil upright dropped out. And then the Wheel came out alone upright. Whatever is happening right now is destined. And then the Eight of Pentacles upright with the Two of Wands reversed, perhaps working without options and suffering in silence in the underlying energy. And then again, it came up with the same bottom of suffering in silence of the Nine of Swords, but this time with the Queen of Swords and the Star, or shining her light, healing and dreaming perhaps. So it's coming up as the masculine working without options and the feminine shining her light. And then I cut the deck and did the formal read for the masculine here at 324, which is the Empress, and the 24 of the Queen of Wands, which can be a mother and daughter energy, or that can be an older and younger energy as well. The underlying energy here was the Eight of Wands upright with the Two of Pentacles reversed, the Four of Pentacles reversed, and the Four of Swords reversed. So the energetic exchange of dropping the ball, the act, the facade, or perhaps tripped up, into breaking patterns though, letting go of practicalities to rise, awaken, and come out, perhaps even levitation, with the recent past and the Hermit shedding light on their awakening at 3:30, which is the Empress and the Union, or home, and the energetic exchange of the foundation here, which is the Emperor reversed, out of control, perhaps not doing well, or stepping down from power, and the central energy being the Knight of Swords, the messenger of truth, or the Knight in shining armor, rushing in with a delivery, challenged by the Two of Cups, intense connection. And now is the King of Pentacles in the present moment, perhaps in the park, noticing someone praying for their children, or meditating, or he is sending good wishes that all works out well between the Page of Swords reversed and the Page of Pentacles upright. And soon is the Queen of Pentacles, with Aries reversed and Virgo and Sag and Libra all upright here, that he is seeing himself as the Five of Wands, the fighter, competitive, part of a crowd, a group, battling between the Emperor reversed and the patient angel, or between the Emperor reversed and patience and a higher love, or Aries reversed versus Saggy upright, and the block being justice, or himself, truth and balance. And the King of Wands there, reversed at the end, with the King of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles upright at 337 and 338, literally dealing with the Emperor reversed and the King of Wands reversed, or maybe they're both one and the same person. And they're implementing a plan with the High Priestess to try to open their heart to them, the Divine Feminine or Pisces not sharing with the Wounded Warrior or High Priestess, and the inequity of the Wounded Warrior, perhaps the King of Wands reversed with a plan to unbalance the High Priestess or Pisces so they can get down on one knee as the Wounded Warrior in hopes they will happily take their cup. A "here, here," or best man to the Knight of Wands, or a challenge of letting the best man win, as the Knight of Wands is showing off their sexy legs with new information or clarity that unbalances their clear thinking, and the Chariot reverse is stuck, with the Magician reversed, insecure, and the world upside down, broke, broken, broke up, down, or through, perhaps travel or moving issues, without tools, or lost in a break or a manipulator, wanting control back of their world to get closure or perhaps to complete a cycle. With Cancer, Gemini, and Pisces all reversed right here, and the Knight of Wands upright with new clarity of these energies between them, and the Page of Wands reversed all over the place, perhaps schmoozing or moving or visiting, or with bad influences, drinking, or with a third party, lying, cheating, or stealing, or out the back, Jack, and release themselves from a prison or anxiety to heal and triumph with the Page of Cups reversed, which can be a rejection, perhaps someone that was rejected, or triumphing with the Page of Cups reversed, their own rejection, to be that Six of Cups again, of the inner children loving each other. The Page of Wands reversed and the Page of Cups reversed under the radar deception of sexual energy or passion, with the Queen of Wands reversed and the Queen of Cups reversed, needing peace with an announcement, which is interesting too, because we have the children, Page of Wands and Page of Cups reversed, and then we have the Queen of Wands and Queen of Cups reversed. So it's the same mothers and same children type of energies, but that can represent the feminines and the masculines, but also can represent literally the children energy could represent the inner or outer children. So it could be inner children, adults as well. And then the Queen of Wands reversed and the Queen of Cups reversed could also be like, two people at work or two children. But those two are needing peace with an announcement or a wake-up call to purge, dump emotions, or being pushed to the limit, or crying perhaps sweating it out or standing up for themselves, and not backing down with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, refusing to move, work, or make an offer, or unable to function, paralyzed by their feelings of love, and the Devil on fire, destined to be the death, end, dark night, or transition, with Gemini, Capricorn, Libra, and Scorpio all upright here. Or twins and fire here, destined to go through the dark night, the divine lovers and the shadow lovers, destined to transform and meld together, grieving the loss and the regret, the purging or the pleading, or the Page of Swords reversed and the Page of Pentacles upright, in need of sunshine or vacation, or drained and walking away from the King of Swords reversed, trying to end the stress, the suffering in silence, or the nightmare, or perhaps dealing with a sister, with the Queen of Swords upright and the King of Cups reversed, recovering to be independent again, the star of the show, healed and working late, and then dead tired after, or the King of Wands reversed recovering from the Sovereign star, or Aquarius doing as they please, and he having to work late into the night, left for dead by the Empress upright, with the Ring going on a cruise, or Viking set sail, shipping and receiving, or Chinese in grass, perhaps a Nordic, Orient, or Asian silk trade, with options, lots of choices, and seeing synchronicities, but it may be hard to make choices when all of the choices are good ones. Perhaps at the workplace and free to leap. Be Atlas and the weight of the world under pressure, with two Buck always watching them, and finding an escape hatch now, a portal to Guinevere, always just out of reach. She's like the wind, or Capricorn and Leo here, both chariots of fire, and Aries trying to keep up with them. Or 2 to 3 who are racing and tempted by the Holy Grail, with spiritual fulfillment, or divorce to have a happy family, or emotional fulfillment, with soul tie and our kids without choice to be happy, with the truth of the 10 of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, with dysfunction and resistance to the Knight of Cups upright, who's just being love, at 4/11, which is today's date. The 4 of the Emperor, the 11 of Justice, truth and balance. So that was the energy from today. So now I have 2 other quick messages of the day from yesterday for you, and then we're going to get into the twin flame read on the table. So these are the 2 reads from yesterday. This is the first one, and again, it's the same deck, the Wild Unknown Tarot mini deck here. It's a pocket deck. And here's the second read, just so you have them both. Okay, the top is the underlying energy, and then it just goes like a storyline there across. So this first one was at 5:10 p.m. yesterday. And the underlying energy was the 4 of Swords reversed, the 3 of Cups reversed, and the 10 of Swords reversed, with no rest, no socializing, awake to third party, but there's no joy here, with the worst being over, dealing with bliss energies, though, at the same time. And then the Hermit reversed with the 6 of Swords reversed, coming out in need of peace, or needing to be around people, perhaps the workplace, hangout. And then Home Depot was coming up yesterday, or Lowe's, going to a place where there's a lot of work and people going on. Perhaps to see new perspectives, perhaps the King of Pentacles reverse perspective. Perhaps stock is low or prices are up and it makes it hard to do the job right. With home conflicts, so again Home Depot, or place with many people fighting to get what they want, or just very active, busy place with groups or sports or celebrations here for the 9 of Pentacles sovereign, or pursuing home sovereignty and able to do it yourself, or teaching yourself how to do things perhaps you didn't know how to do before. With the 9 of Wands reversed, the wounded warrior surrendering to the 2 of Cups upright and connecting one-to-one, perhaps assistance with the same goal in mind, or 2 of Wands twin flames surrender to being on the same page, looking at the same thing from 2 different perspectives. The Fool is free to leap to the end of the stress or anxiety, the suffering in silence, to get out of your head with an upside-down world, from the fire into the frying pan, so to speak, here at 5:24, which is the Hierophant and the Queen of Wands. So again, in trying to get out of your head, perhaps to go outside and go to like Home Depot, does it help or does it hinder you? That's the question here. Are you jumping from the fire into the frying pan? Perhaps it's not the right time, or maybe it's bad timing for stock, or taking care of one thing just leads to another thing being a problem or needing to be taken care of by the Page of Swords with limited knowledge and needing to be strong. In a twist of fate, a message of weakness, feeling a failure or seeking attention, under the radar dumping a load, burden, or responsibilities, post-war or in the inner struggle, spending a lot of money or dealing with dysfunctional family, business, or community, or those post-war, post-virus or loss, or losing battle going to a place like Home Depot where you always end up spending more than you intended at 5:30, which is the Hierophant and home. Holding back judgment, announcement, or the need to heed the call and swallow your pride with self-love and perhaps excited about a new love as the Chariot rides in a bold movement to split or divide or see the truth or information or maybe new instructions here on how to. The King of Swords' strong suit is needing to share, dealing with inequity or debt, and being wise in divide or split, recovering from some practical loss, perhaps, and perhaps buying flowers too early and they got frosted, or need to come back inside because it's too cold outside, recovering from illness, injury, or exile, financial loss or destitution and homelessness, as justice of balance and truth comes in with soulmate, sibling, or child, and twin flame where roots run deep here, two looking back to see what they've grown. With Virgo reversed and Aries upright, Capricorn upright, Pisces both upright and reversed, we have Libra and Leo reversed, Aquarius reversed times 2 perhaps, with Cancer and Libra upright. And then we have the King of Pentacles reversed here, the Page of Swords, King of Swords upright, the Queen of Pentacles is upright, King of Pentacles though is reversed, and then we have the Queen of Swords upright and the Knight of Wands upright. So in need of hope, the Queen of Pentacles may be stable but perhaps somewhat depressed, perhaps with a little one, and in the energetic exchange, recovering perhaps from a jolt of impatience. Or Aquarius and Sag both reversed here, going back and forth over the Queen of Pentacles upright, and the Queen of Swords who may be wise with the Knight of Wands sun, or perhaps they're taking a vacation together, with Leo upright here. The King of Pentacles reversed and the Ten of Pentacles reversed may be hit hardest here, and Aquarius reversed clearly is not strong today. This was yesterday. And then the King of Pentacles reversed alone and spent, and the Page of Swords upright with weak timing, post-War of the Roses, and new love for Cancer upright or ascension or travel, and the King of Swords upright feeling the inequity here of the twin flames and feeling each other with strong roots, and the Queen of Pentacles upright and stuck with moody kids, and the Queen of Swords upright with the Knight of Wands, and happy or having fun or in the sun together, or exposing lots of things to each other at 5:52, which is the Hierophant and the Queen of Swords. That was the first one. So the second message of the day here was done at 5:55. And the underlying energy was the Empress reversed, the High Priestess reversed, and the Six of Cups reversed. Perhaps older sisters exposing beautiful roots while burying their heads in the sand, or forest fire here, or trees cut down, or uprooted in a storm. Or the High Priestess reversed, seeing Mother Nature's disruption, or feeling it, or trees trying to hide their new sprouts as the cold comes back out. Perhaps your trees are asking you for a hug this time. Perhaps a lack of intuition or secret of roots is out. The root passion for saving trees or Mother Nature in general, or wanting to plant a tree in honor of something. Perhaps sisters together. Looking past the obvious here, or the need to go within for quiet time. Mothers, children, perhaps down under, showing so much compassion for those family trees that didn't survive, but left behind such colorful stories and rainbows, such love that was shared. And then finding peace as we start the read, and the Queen of Pentacles with her baby Knight of Pentacles, her little Bambi or her little Bambino perhaps, a need for clarity about the King of Pentacles reversed and Sovereign reversed, or the divide between mother and son, and father and other child, of the father's dependence or powerlessness in a split, the release from prison or anxiety and separation, or with a procedure, the Fool free to hang out here, or Aries and Capricorn or Pisces hanging out together, or free to be still enough to see new perspectives. At 614 here is the Lovers and the Temperance card of a higher love. The Chariot free and wild yet tame at the same time, sleeping like a lamb or traveling and rested, but the Queen of Cups reversed still dissatisfied within self, in energetic exchange of inequity or a spark that they are liable or unable rather to share. So the Queen of Cups still dissatisfied within self, in energetic exchange of inequity or a spark that they're unable to share, or feeling scammed by it. Unhappy family or cycle that's so over, recovering from injury, illness, or exile. The patient angel, the fiery stork, or the bird with thin legs and a big flame with the Hierophant talking with a key in their talons. Sagittarius and Taurus at a stalemate here, with the sun at the point or juncture, and perhaps neither willing to see the truth, as Hierophant Black Bird gets struck by lightning while holding the key, and Temperance Stork is playing with fire, or at a bonfire, or camping perhaps, and both refusing to see the sun in the sky or the sun as in a child, perhaps stuck between them, keeping to themselves so they don't have to hear them. The sun is trying to heal with parental hovering, is not being loving here. The workplace transformation and back to two dancing without a third's opinion, of redoing the place perhaps for a whole new appearance, leaving the mountain behind, as Kitty is up to something, as they lay low, pretending to be at peace, but with an ace up their sleeve, perhaps too much work to end the conflict, or in a losing battle, or things just not working out, so they're leaving before a fight starts. With the Magician upright, with the King of Wands reversed, feeling that Hierophant's lightning strike, and confused about the sun going down, or the effects of the eclipse perhaps, or realizing the King of Wands reversed did this to himself, as the Magician looks down at him with all their tools on board, perhaps confused about a marriage or contract, and that Taurus isn't good with patience. Perhaps an angel or Sagittarius uses their flame to protect them while standing their ground here. The Knight of Swords and the Page of Swords reversed. Knight of Swords is upright here. Perhaps the Flyer upright and the Grounder who's reversed, with opposite perspectives or mixed messages here, or perfect compliments, or kids not getting along. The World upright, being whole, complete, the Divine Feminine and Pisces, and so is the Sun, the Knight of Cups, being or offering love, but the Queen of Wands or Mother with new passion, or the Knight of Cups offering some love or kindness, but the Queen of Wands is offering big passion and growth or creativity or a project in return, but unwilling to share the second wand, or just the Queen of Wands totally wrapped up in this passion. Perhaps it shines brighter than her, the actual passion, not the other person. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles and Knight of Pentacles upright, the King of Pentacles and the Sovereign reversed, and this could be a mother and child and a father and child, perhaps separate, or just doing things separately. And then the Queen of Cups is reversed with the King of Wands reversed, the Knight of Swords upright with the Page of Swords reversed, and then the Knight of Cups upright with the Queen of Wands upright. They're kind of solo at the end. And then we have Aries upright, Capricorn or Pisces upright, Cancer, Sag, Taurus, Gemini or Virgo, and Pisces all upright here at 640. Again, the Lovers and the Page of Cups here with that innocent love. It's the only one that was reversed. Were any of them? No, all the signs were upright there at the end. Yeah. So let's go back to the twin flame read on the table now. I'll show you that picture. All right, so here's the basic read on the table from the Sirian Starseed deck. And then here's the whole 7-deck read. Okay, and this was done at 8:51 at night. And I cut the deck at 8:23, which is the dance and the 23 of the King of Wands. And at 8:37, 37 being the King of Cups, herself was coming up along with the F, which for me is phi, is expansion and contraction, or reflecting in the middle, herself. And I finished clarifying at 8:51, which is the King of Swords and the dance. So the King of Wands, King of Cups, and the King of Swords, and herself, the female. F is for female here, because there's 3 kings there. Wow. And that we haven't even started yet. All right, so the major arcana here were Reflection, which is the Hermit, Starseed, which is the Fool, the Chariot, the Hanging Man, Guidance, which is the Temperance card, and Higher Self, which is the High Priestess. And after the read is Reason, which is the Emperor. There was 1 Pentacle, 2 Swords, 1 Wand, and 1 Cup. And the court cards were the King of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords, and before the read was the Queen of Swords, and that was it. We do have the 9 of Cups after the read as well, which is the sovereign, emotional person. Actually, it's not after the read, it's right here. So the twin flames seeing themselves as that 9 of Cups. And then we have triple 2s in this read, double 1s and double 5s, but triple 2s. So again, the guidance of the 2 and the 2 of duality, of dancing back and forth, the one-on-one relationship, and the 6 relationship of the family as well, and the love. The 11 of Justice, the 55 of the Truth, the 9 of the Hermit was significant here, as well as the 12 of the Hanging Man, the 23 of the King of Wands, 39 of the Knight of Cups, 35 of the 8 of Wands, and then 57 of the 3 of Swords. We also have 7, 8, 9 here too, which is the 5D, and 1, 2, 3, which is the 3D. And the 4D bridge is coming up as the 55 of the Ace of Swords, the Excalibur Truth is the bridge. So the code line here is all about completion, karmic completion, and love, partnership, and healing. And let's see here. Really, there was no numbers. You could say 9, but I'm not sure if I'd even include the 9, because 9 was coming up as N-I-N-I. It wasn't coming up as the full word. So Nini was coming up, and I just saw Nina too, or Nima. Was it Minnie? I think it was Nina. Or Mina. I saw somebody's name, it was very similar to Nini here, so that might be coming up specifically. But no numbers specifically, unless it's the number 9. And then we have completion, karmic completion, love, partnership, and healing. And the messages that are coming up is this. So Tater was coming up here, which is funny because I know someone who uses that word, or somebody's name is Tater. But also we have, potatoes and taters. People refer to potatoes as taters all the time. So Tater's coming up, and then 9-inch nails. So I know someone has a mother or grandmother who sticks their nails into them, because that could be coming up. But just someone who always has to have their nails perfect. But Tater, 9-inch nails, the grandmother, the man with contents, taking the high road, the master starseed, in the aha type of moment here, regarding the completion, the karmic completion, the love partnership, and the healing of this. Also twice in the 2 was coming up again, the water, which way is it coming up? ACTV was coming up here. And tatters as well. I hope nobody had an accident. But again, twice, 2, water, ACTV. And that can be alternating currents too, regarding telepathic vision as well. Something in tatters, or Nini, or a loved one, like a grandmother type of energy, and taking the high road, perhaps 309, which is again the 369, but the 6 is the 0 because that's the present moment. The mastering of the starseed in the Fool's Journey to analyze and separate the completion points, the karmic completion, the love partnership, and the healing things here. The twin that I am, the air conditioning, the alternating currents of telepathic vision to shine brightly on the high road, mastering being starseed, to consider the karmic completion, love, partnership, and healing here. Perhaps for the time being. Perhaps saying night-night to the high road, or hit the road jack, or mastering the Fool's Journey to have sex with, or possess, or express karmic completion, a love partnership, and healing here. The soul being armic, or armed, to be everywhere. Complete or comping someone and letting them connect. The right angle of the sheep and part Christ mercy ship. He fever with elder woman or elderly woman, or perhaps someone older than him, and then a light touch here. The fish, which can represent Jesus as well, as we're dealing with Easter this week, the fish to cry, weep, the inner child, letting the connection of the sheep Christ mercy ship fever here. Very significant words there. So the first card out with this read was the reflection, which is the Hermit upright. So this big card here on top, and then the mini cards are on top of that. And then underneath that card was the Two of Pentacles reversed, the Five of Swords upright, the Ace of Cups reversed, the Two of Wands upright, and the Queen of Swords upright. And then the Hermit on top there. So not surrendering to all that is, perhaps at war within, still going from frog to prince, in need of love, or dumped by twin flame Queen of Swords, or overwhelmed by twin flame's choice of path, the Queen of Swords, or Virgo, or Hermit of reflecting in a split, or home stressed out, in need of strength. And this was at 1021, the Wheel of Fortune, and the 21 of the World. Perhaps in need of strength, health, sunshine. Perhaps drained due to lies and split, or dumping a load, or burdens, responsibilities, and the Queen of Cups upright. Perhaps after the Queen of Pentacles and a death or near-death experience, or with affections for lovers and the Queen of Swords and the Empress all upright here. Perhaps third-party split or a lie, or the Empress and Queen of Swords overindulging in rumors, or some kind of divide here, with the Empress upright overindulging in lies, wearing their heart on display, and whether that's real or not is to be questioned here, or for bad influences to divide them. The twin flame Queen of Swords reflecting a lie or a split with the Empress upright, or the world upside down, the Divine Feminine, the 5D, or the Queen of Swords talking about leaving, or him leaving, the Empress upright, her wealth built on family foundation, or faulty foundation, and that could be the same for both, or leaving the Empress upright to go to the Queen of Swords, or the Empress is going back to the Queen of Swords in some kind of codependency here, or to get to know each other better. And If I Hadn't Met You again was coming up from yesterday. And the Westlake Village Inn was coming up here too. So the King of Pentacles is upright here with the 1046, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the Six of Cups. The King of Pentacles overindulging on the Two of Wands or Twin Flame to find peace with the Page of Cups and the Queen of Wands. And that could be two friends hanging out too, or mother and child. And Gabriel was coming up here as well. A big passion expressed to the Empress Mother, present to romantic tie, no longer flirting and putting it out there for everyone to touch. Or JR and Linda Evans here, or Crystal, I think her name was, right? With matching shoes and tie. Robin Hood and Maid Marian, post-war within, with good news and putting it out there, putting their ass on the line to lead the way. At 1052, the Wheel and the Queen of Swords, perhaps to get attention, or with a reputation to uphold, one who gets women to show their butt and boob cracks to them, an energetic exchange with the Empress upright romantic tie, done fighting and ending a conflict, with the journeyman putting it all on the line for their lover. At 1103, which is Justice and the Empress. Perhaps using intuition, which is 22, which is the Fool's Journey, and beneath that financial discipline of the 48 of knowing when to walk away and within, or knowing when to run. Knowing when to walk away and when to run, as the Page of Swords reversed lost her light, but walked away from heated exchange to tell the truth about unhappiness alone, or dissatisfaction and being blinded by the light. Perhaps back in the saddle with good news and leading the way, keeping their energy clear, and when getting attention, keeping their face out of the limelight, or a need to be seen, or people unhappy not being able to see their eyes, or an eye transplant here. Perhaps the Queen of Swords is not expressing her true feelings, or had a negative exchange and is telling the truth, knowing to keep their energy clear, not happy having to put their face out there. With success, reputation, and the Hermit's reflection, or light tarnished by bad influencers lying about them at 1111. There's good news and victory as the Queen of Swords was reversed, but she's now upright, shedding light on lies to the Empress, putting it all out there, and the intuition of the 22 of the Fool's journey with an open heart. For the Empress upright and the Queen of Swords and reputation is everything to them. With Empress passionate about gifts and flame, perhaps not flirting or showing off, yet putting it all out there, using their intuition instead. And then we have the energy of sharing, losing patience, but keeping cards close about bad health or the need for courage or better health care, perhaps. Sharing with Hermit and shedding light on grieving loss and regret, with Sovereign, or now single, and the King of Pentacles and King of Cups both upright here, implementing a plan to start over in love, at home in union, present to the Magician manifesting romance, travel, or stardom, at a disconnect or distance, with the High Priestess secret or psychic abilities, or divorce and feeling guilty, walking away at 11:35, which is Justice and the Wounded Warrior. So now we have all 4 kings being talked about here, because we started out with 3 and now the King of Pentacles came up here as well. In the recent past here is the 3 of Wands, presently overworking, keeping to self, the Hermit and Justice, or Virgo and Libra, with Queen of Cups upright and King of Pentacles upright. Or those 2 are them, not sharing imbalance, with Wounded Warrior surrendering and giving up the Page of Wands reversed to the 10 of Cups upright, or somebody might have given their child up for adoption because they just can't possibly take care of them. At 12:27, which may be the Hangman and the Ace of Wands, perhaps Scrooge is weak, not wanting to know, dumping a load or burden and responsibilities on the King of Swords, and the King of Pentacles unable or unwilling to part with the little that he has left, surrendering the Page of Wands reversed to a very happy family, 10 of Cups upright, present to flame, so overworking to keep it to themselves. Knowing his weakness and shedding light on secrets in court, or with Hermit and Justice, or Virgo and Libra, or court taking child from them, perhaps for inappropriate behavior in front of them. The foundation is the Knight of Swords, passing 5D messages, perhaps standing up for self, the detox chaos, and codependencies, or star, dream, healer, starting over in love, with the twin flames, near death, or patient angel, and the Page of Cups, message of love, a child or puppy love, and this could be a near-death experience as well. With Capricorn reversed, Aquarius and Sag upright, and Scorpio reversed here, the central energy is the King of Pentacles receiving the Ace of Wands, an offer of a project or growth or passion from awakening or spontaneous Woody, and their hands are tied, with the Emperor reversed tying them up to end the fight, battle, or conflict, or imprisoned in a losing battle with Sunshine reversed, or draining kids. I was just getting Failure to Launch 2, where they tied them to the chair to settle their differences. So imprisoned in a losing battle with Sunshine reversed, or no sunshine, or no sun or vacation, or draining kids and overexposed, overradiated or feeling burned, or Leo reversed in need of sun and fun, or kids and vacation, an egotistical Emperor reversed forcing more work on him when he's already had too much, or forced the Page of Wands reversed to fulfill all his wishes and demands now. And that could be abuse situation as well, and that could be a pet too. The challenge being the Starseed reversed, embarrassed from falling on their face or from grace, or just lacking faith and recovering from exile, being left behind or out in the cold. At war with the 6 of Cups reversed, perhaps difficult kids or a falling out in the past, or a bad childhood. With the King of Swords facing their worst fears of the 2 of Cups reversed, disconnect or distance, and the Knight of Pentacles reversed, being stubborn or unable to function, blocking the relationship. With the Tower upright, suddenly tripped or fell, or messed up, dropped the ball, or act, dropped the facade or the pattern, and dumping multiple loads, emotional attachments, no longer confused about the Queen of Wands looking the other way while he indulges in temptation. With the Temperance card upright, or patient angel who is patient mixing drinks, and that's why they're patient, because they're getting them drunk, or getting self and others drunk to make them feel better, or serving children who are underage. The 10 of Cups is upright, sending out the errand boy to do their dirty work for them, with the King of Cups upright and the Emperor reversed, with multiple women destined to abuse or be abused. No more fantasy here. Destined with the King of Wands upright in energetic exchange, with Twin Flame and the Knight of Cups offering love to the Divine Feminine 5D, or Pisces reversed, or upside down world, or perhaps offering love to the neighborhood. And this King of Cups upright with the Emperor reversed too can be a father and child, where the father had always taken their son out, like to cheat and stuff like that. So like teaching him the wrong kind of things. But the King of Cups is upright here though. So maybe not, he shouldn't be hanging out with the Emperor reversed if he's still behaving that way. Ding. So the Queen of Wands is getting everyone against the King of Wands, perhaps in a divorce, or Libra is fighting their own demons, or father and son may be alike, but never wanting to be like the father. Perhaps they're heavy-handed, abusive, or a philanderer. Or perhaps the King of Cups is married into the Emperor reverse family with the Queen of Wands and King of Wands, or the King of Cups is the black sheep of the family at 1257, which is the Hanging Man and the Three of Swords. Scorpio's upright, Sag upright, Aries reversed, Libra upright times 2 here at 1257. Pisces reversed too. That's funny because my daughter just texted me and she's Pisces. The now moment here is Chariot upright with a bold move, travel. The Warrior is sending fast. And the King of Wands upright with the Knight of Wands reversed, perhaps recruiting with a child. A child maybe who was given up or never knew, a child that they never knew they had, or now with a son he'd always wished he had. So that could be also just gaining a son from another relationship. As the Knight of Cups upright offering love, struggling to escape chains, to find a way out of dodge, coming clean or getting clean, or cleaning up their act or their space, to ride high and tall, victorious, getting attention as man of passion, and the Knight of Wands reversed, player falling short, destined to have a falling out in the past, or childhood issues returning, or issues with kids, with Sag reversed and Libra upright, and Pisces or Capricorn upright here, in a big move with the King of Wands and the Knight of Wands, who's reversed, and the Queen of Wands here, with Cancer, Knight of Cups perhaps, or Saggy with attitude, detoxing the devil, no longer castrated, trying to work, or no longer trying to mark their territory at 104, which is the Magician and the Emperor. Perhaps Cancer is upright, Capricorn reversed, running away from energetic exchange with the King of Cups, who's dissatisfied or being arrogant or weak or lying and spying or spreading rumors, or the Page of Swords with a bad mouth on them, or perhaps the Page of Swords is giving lip service, or won't be quiet or is trying to silence them, a bad influence or third party, no longer to be strong-armed into drinking the water and doing the avoid dance, with the Knight of Cups offering love to the Chariot, the Warrior or Cancer, no longer inspecting every inch of the hostage, no longer tying them up, with the Hierophant reversed, or Narcissist, or Dirty Old Man, throwing jealous fits of rage to show dissatisfaction with bliss, or ending the pain, now that the worst is over. With Capricorn, Leo, Pisces, Taurus all reversed, and then Scorpio and Cancer upright here, soon at 111 is the Hanging Man reversed, with an idea, ego, or awakened to blocks in connection. The Knight of Pentacles reversed, standing in their way, or now offering the Ace of Pentacles, or new time, money, or effort, or a new life to Sovereign, or trying to pay off the Sovereign, or settling out in court to be single. Awake to an offer to sovereignty or to a sovereign person, or having their buttons pushed or overwhelmed, dumping a load or pushed to their emotional limit, dumped on, or dumping syndrome, or sweating it out, holding on, or being patient to stay away from the Queen of Pentacles reversed, third party at work, through work, or the Queen of Pentacles reversed has issues at work, and saving, being practical and grounded, or the Knight of Pentacles reversed and the Queen of Pentacles reversed may be struggling financially, but the Sovereign is doing really well, with offers coming in. With Taurus and Capricorn reversed, but Virgo is upright here, or independent child, and the Queen of Pentacles reversed is imprisoned after bleeding out, with the Ten of Cups, or now the worst is over with the Ten of Cups family or cycle, or imprisoned by bliss of emotional fulfillment and purging it out. The King of Pentacles is dealing with a Virgo and Cancer upright, Capricorn and Pisces reversed, and Aries reversed, and Pisces upright here. The King of Pentacles could be Virgo, Libra upright with Scorpio Sag, or with Sag reversed, Aries reversed, Leo, Capricorn, and Pisces reversed in chart, perhaps. The twin flames seeing themselves as the Nine of Cups reversed, the lovers receiving attention or offers or good news, as the Knight of Swords upright is by expedited messenger service, perhaps, for the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, implementing a plan or investing in a missing opportunity, or a child in need of help or money for college. As the Page of Pentacles reversed may be healing from disappointment, or recovering financially with a judgment, settlement, announcement, or call. A wake-up call to divine lovers, Gemini, or Aquarius calling them out, with new love and engagement, past life relationship, and very soon, with the Ace of Swords reversed, a lie, a split, or divide, a need for the truth, perhaps always right there below the surface. The Four of Swords, 5D connection, perhaps on a break, rest, or meditating, or moving to peace, or finding peace in a split, as the Magician and the High Priestess, and the Magician, perhaps with his psychic assistant, the perfect complements, or when family or kids go home or back to the other parent, the Magician and the High Priestess come out to do their thing, after the truth. At 135, the Magician and the Wounded Warrior. The block here is guidance reversed, perhaps no outside guidance, with the Queen of Pentacles reversed and the Fool reversed, who perhaps fell for them and now feeling guilty for causing a fall, or for grieving without guidance for the Queen of Pentacles reversed in their fall, or a divorce or humiliation perhaps, and healing, love partnership, completion, karmic completion, but even more so here, relationship change, effort, and compassion. As the higher self is dissatisfied or unhappy in energetic exchange with the King of Wands, with Taurus in their chart, or divorced or spiritual and outside the box, with energetic exchange and twin flame, Knight of Cups, Divine Feminine 5D, or Pisces both upright and reversed here, their higher self in all business relationship that's not working out, no longer looking in on lovers as third party, and no longer conflicted in a losing battle with their higher self, spiritual romance, or Pisces upright and Taurus reversed and Cancer upright here, or higher self with Pisces, Virgo, or Cancer, and the King of Wands with Libra, Taurus, Scorpio in chart. As the higher self hermit recovering from exile of the group, down below in disconnect or at a distance from the Emperor reversed who's being unreasonable or repeating steps or coming back down from an energetic exchange, epiphany or sexual exchange here, or arrows of love, and being present to the bliss of it. As the twin flames, Queen of Swords, the Hermit or Virgo passing 5D message to the Nine of Cups reversed, or twin flame unhappy alone in a split, or present to their flame, and the King of Pentacles challenged by embarrassment or lack of faith, awake to lack of guidance, divorce, or spirituality, or Pisces or Capricorn, Taurus all reversed in a bold move to their higher self, or Cancer and Pisces upright here, recovering from disconnect or being at a distance, or due to the Emperor reversed, refusing to take steps to the energetic exchange or arrows of love, communication, or travel at the present moment at 153, which is the Magician and the Knight of Swords, which can be a Gemini person. The twin flame Queen of Swords reflecting the present moment and their gifts, with good news to lead the way, as the Knight of Swords messages to the King of Pentacles upright ascending and challenged by making a fool of self, or a lack of a fresh start here. The Nine of Cups reversed, perhaps being dissatisfied or unhappy, awakening in a split or lies without guidance, and the needing of truth and clarity without outside guidance, or with spiritual higher self, recovering in disconnect or at a distance, with the Emperor reversed, or lack of control, coming downstairs or spiraling in energetic exchange or arrows of love at 205, which is the High Priestess and the Hierophant. So there are your messages. I'm just going to pull a few quick cards because I have some things I have to reply to. So it's 6:10 on the clock, which can be June 10th. It also is the area code in my area. That's interesting too. But it's also 0 behind the 61, which is about taking a risk. So just from the energy deck, I'm going to pull a card. Let's see what comes up for you guys. What's our takeaway from all this today? is the fourth chakra, Archangel Raphael. So the heart chakra is coming up along with the 38, which is very much that Mary Magdalene and Jesus energy combined. This is like the two together, Jesus and the Mary Magdalene energy in the heart here, the heart path here. And there's the thinking woman. They're both very green. And there's the angel of love. This can be children associated with the connection here. And then there could be someone who's deceptive as well. So these could be children or co-workers or just people around them. And then here we have the wounded warrior, which is the safety and security, is the stability of the root chakra here. So we have the heart and the root, right? Where the heart is the home, not the root. But you need to build a strong foundation, though. But here we also have perhaps 3 children between them. Or these could be 4 children, and this could be the connection of the masculine and the feminine. However this works out for you, this is the one with opportunities and dreams to pursue, intellectual pursuits. This is the Queen of Cups, all about the heart. And then here is the Angel of Love, that Page of Cups type of energy of always getting their wish because they're being in love all the time. And then here's the one who could be a troublemaker here. And that's the Knight of Wands. I can't remember if that was upright or reversed. Let me see if I can find it. Knight of Wands. It's reversed. This is reversed, so it's definitely in that deceit energy. So somebody's being deceiving. This could be the player type of energy, is trying to get away with stuff. Perhaps fell short of what they promised, or this can also be someone who's paralyzed by their passions. Maybe they've never been paralyzed by their passions before because they've always been a player. And then here we have the wounded warrior, that root chakra energy of safety and security needed here. And that could be, dealing with home issues as well, home repairs, which is that time of season as well for that kind of stuff to start going. It's hard to find people that you trust to do the work that you need done. And of course, Home Depot and Lowe's were coming up at the beginning of the read. So all that kind of stuff is coming up here, as well as children for sure here, and figuring out what kind of jobs they want to do, what kind of school they want to go to. The bottom of the deck here is all about prom and graduation stuff here, okay? Community of the 7, the Chariot, the car needed, the dresses needed, and then the man holding a heart, the 45 of grieving, loss, regret, and falling into their heart as the masculine energy, whether it's dealing with your children and their prom dates and things like that, or whether it's dealing with the community and the masculine, dealing with being surrounded by women all the time who have broken their heart, perhaps. Okay. I'm going to leave it at that. Am I? Oh, I didn't do a Metatron deck read today, so I'm going to pull a card from that deck. Just one more card. It's 6:14 on the clock, which is the Lovers and the Temperance card of the higher love. And then over here it's 132, 49, 50, which is the One of the Magician, 32 of the 6 of Wands, right? Getting attention, success, leading the way. And then the 49 of 50, which is emotional fulfillment, whether it's a single or family situation. Really nice energy. So from this Metatron deck, what do we have? Whoop. Well, that didn't want to go back in. That kind of bounced off, but there's another card that wanted to come out too. So conquering your fears, start today with the 17 of starring in your own life, right? Healing. Again, being conquering your fears, healing, and being the healer, dreaming, allowing yourself to dream again. Getting back up on your feet, but asking for assistance too. You don't have to do it on your own. And then this card wanted to come out too. This one wanted to come out first, but this one refused to go back in the deck. It popped out at the end. This is all about blessings and thanks. Remember to have gratitude for every day, all the things that you have. The 47 of the 7 of Cups, all of the options that we have in our everyday life, as well as seeing synchronicities. And how colorful life is, right? The rainbow of colors that we have and choices of everything in life, whether it's food, people, things to do every day, and how fortunate we are, and to conquer your fears about getting past anything that you're scared to do or try or be. And the bottom of the deck, and again, the hear and know me of the inner child, to go within and know your inner child. Akashic Records is coming up there too. The bottom of the deck is the Page of Cups, that innocent puppy love of the child, the 40 of evolution and birthing the new in the wake-up call. right? The alignment to be new again. This is the birthing of the heart. And again, the heart chakra came up first, so that's really significant. Okay, getting past your fears one step at a time and having gratitude for all that you are and all that you have as well. Okay, and remember to get plenty of water and rest and joy and nature and smile, laugh, and breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Rise and be love, you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.